Okay, hi everyone. Can you guys hear me now? Can you guys see the screen now? Okay, cool. Thank you so much. We're gonna start in like a minute, okay? We're just gonna let more people join and we can officially start. I'm not sure why everyone is taking a while today. By the way, those who are already here, let me know how you managed to get into the webinar because I received an email from Alfred, which is one of our regulars, right? He's saying that he stopped receiving the invitation link. So let me know where you guys got your invitation link. Wait, so last week there were no published webinars. Okay, thanks for sharing, Nina. Then how did you manage to get into this webinar today, though? Let me see. I'm in the link that you sent me. Today's the 11th. Okay, there. Oh, okay, so got it. Okay, thanks. Thanks for sharing. I will let IC Markets know. I think people are just not properly notified. I mean, I see. Yeah. So, hi everyone. For those who are already here, I mean, there's not many of you. I'm thinking there's a problem with the invitation link or whatever it is. There's only like less than five of you here. I mean, this is good. Just take it as a one-on-one session. It's a time to ask me all your questions if you have questions. Today's the 11th of August. Okay, we're gonna do live analysis session. It is about 3:30 here in Singapore. Let's do a disclaimer, okay? So anything I share with you guys in this webinar should not be construed as any form of trading advice, any form of investment advice, or any kind of signal to get in and out of the markets, okay? I am not telling you to do any of that. You are purely here for educational purposes. Yes, I know that's very contradictory of the entire webinar because we're basically going onto the live chart. I'm basically showing you how to get my entry, my stop loss, my take profit, but it is not for you to copy blindly. It is more like me showing my perspective of how I usually come up with my analysis. It's not accurate. It may not be accurate. Okay, I also experience losses, okay? But it's more like showing you how to apply my own style, so maybe you can apply it to your own style. Okay, so other than that, I do have to stay here for a few minutes so that we can actually read through the disclaimer and then we'll continue. Hi, hi. Okay, I see more people joining in. Hi, I watched your August 4 webinar in YouTube. Excited to use the Elliott Wave today. Okay. Hi. I'm still not ready with the Elliott Wave. I'm still doing back testing. So for those who know, I don't know if I mentioned last webinar, I've been running back testing for the last 2 weeks now, okay? And I've tested every strategy you can think of, moving average, stochastics, RSI, whatever you can think of. And the one that is giving the best returns as of right now is Elliott Wave. Okay, but the returns are not um promising enough that I would say it's gonna retire me tomorrow. No, it's a long-term game. Okay, so how Elliott Wave works is, let me show you. I cannot show you the Elliott wave today because okay, I'll tell you why I cannot show you the Elliott wave. Okay, so how Elliott wave works is Mr. Elliott, whatever it is, he noticed that price is constantly moving in a five-way pattern, right? So one, two, three, four, five. So as a trader, your job is to identify when to get in at number two, number four, and then you catch this wave, you catch this wave, and you catch this wave. But the thing is, when it's doing one, two, the two can dip anywhere from here to here. It's always a range, right? It's never a fixed number. It's always like it can dip anywhere within this box. Okay, and then once it dips to this box, it can go up. On hindsight, it looks like okay, that's good. It narrows down where exactly price is moving, right? But Elliott wave works really well on a bigger time frame. On a bigger time frame, it works really well. Therefore, even if you manage to identify the box, that box range, that zone can still be very huge. Okay? It can still be very huge. Therefore, I think Elliott Wave is working really great. I mean, my back testing results are showing that Elliott Wave is giving the best returns. It's just that I'm still working on identifying how to narrow this box, how to make it smaller. Okay, because Elliott Wave has rules where it's the entry is at 50% Elliott Wave. Sorry, not Elliott Wave. Fibonacci retracement, 61.8% Fibonacci retracement, all the way up to I can't remember what retracement level, but it's always a very huge range. I'm just still working on trying to get the range to be smaller. It is gonna take me a while. Do you know how time consuming back testing is? It is so time consuming, right? Okay, hold on. Let me just quickly do my introduction first. Okay, my name is Cassandra. You guys can call me Kat. I am investment analyst and prop trader. We've been recognized as the finalists for the best forex and equity research. I'm from a research firm called Everest Fortune Group, based in Singapore. Okay, anything you want to know about, my job as an investment analyst is basically to understand the markets, to back test it, to forecast it. Sounds very simple, right? But back testing, forecasting, researching is very time consuming. Okay, so I only just started the in-depth of the back testing like 2 weeks or 2.5 weeks ago. It's gonna take me months to come up with my final conclusion. Okay, but so far I've tested 7 strategies. Um yes, Elliott Wave, the winner. We're talking about long term, okay? We're talking about consistency. Elliott Wave is the winner. Some of the stuff, let's say a combination of like moving average and whatnot, yes, they win sometimes, but they lose sometimes. They end up losing and winning and losing and winning, and it's a very inconsistent kind of loss. Okay, the reason why I started this back test is because we have been using this same cheat sheet, right? For weeks and weeks and weeks. Although I think this cheat sheet is good, right? We have many, many weeks. I show you guys how I use it. Many, many weeks it's been profitable. But there are also times where it's not profitable, right? So there's a lot of times it's not profitable actually for this cheat sheet, although a lot of times it's also profitable, right? So that's when I'm like, you know what? I actually want the numbers and I also want the data. So I started back testing. This cheat sheet is one of the strategies that I've back tested. Elliott Wave is one of the strategies. Few other strategies I back tested. This cheat sheet is giving returns, right? But not as high as Elliott Wave. Okay, but the problem is Elliott wave is not a simple form of technical analysis. Okay, Elliott wave is not simple. It's not that easy to understand. If I were to teach it, I would need a few sessions to teach it, right? It's not like this cheat sheet. This cheat sheet is so straightforward. It is even beginners won't be able to understand this cheat sheet. That's why for these 1 hour webinars, I always use this cheat sheet because this is the most straightforward, easiest thing that I can show you guys in like the 1 hour. But if I were to show Elliott wave has so many like calculations, so many referencing, so many rules. Maybe in the entire 1 hour, I'll probably only be able to do one chart. Okay. Actually, let me know in the chat box. I don't mind doing Elliott wave, but if you guys have to be okay that I'm only doing one chart for the entire 1 hour, and it's going to take very slow because there's going to be a lot of explaining involved, right? So if you guys want, I'm just doing like at the end of the day, IC.com, IC makes all these webinars for you guys. So if this is what you guys want, just let me know in the chat box. And next week, I can actually do the Elliott wave. But for the benefit for everyone else this week, I'm gonna have to stick with this first. If you guys want, let me know in the chat box. If nobody replies in the chat box, I'll just take it as we're not gonna use Elliott wave next week. Okay, because anyways, my back testing is not complete yet, so it's gonna take a while. Okay, so this is the cheat sheet. Okay, here for the Elliott wave next week. Yes, please, Elliott wave next week. Yes, okay with only one chart and take your time. Okay. Okay, cool. Let's do Elliott wave next week. Let me warn you, it's not very straightforward. It's not very easy. I personally, like I've been doing this for so many years. I personally took 3 months just to understand the concept of Elliott wave. We're not even talking about the analysis itself, just the concept itself. It took me 3 months to finally grasp what the market was trying to tell me. Okay, what this indicator, this technical analysis tool was trying to tell me. Not the easiest technical analysis tool to use, but so far the back testing is showing that it is the most profitable. Okay. How high is my win ratio right now? Not high. Okay. The back testing is showing 4 out of 10. Okay, 4 out of 10. So I'm losing 6 trades, but winning 4. But you need to know the beauty of Elliott wave is 5 wave patterns, right? You are always catching, if you get it correct, you are catching it right at the bottom. So even though my win rate is so low, it's 40%, at the end of the day, I'm still making a profit because I'm only risking 1%, right? Right? But when I win like 5%, for example. So even though I only win 4 times, 5% is what? 20%? 5%, 4 times, 20%. But if I lose 6 times, I'm only losing 6%. So at the end of the day, I'm still winning positive 14%. Okay, even though I'm losing more trades. So Elliott wave, it's great because you're catching it at the bottom, but the problem is the range is too big. I'm still trying to solve this problem. You guys have to give me like give me a while. The back testing is very time consuming. Okay. The range to enter for the entry can be here, 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 here. Okay, so it's very, as of right now, I'm still trying to figure out how to narrow it down. Even with Fibonacci, I still can't seem to narrow it down to a meaningful point. I managed to narrow it down 4 out of 10 times, but 6 out of 10 times I'm still losing, right? So I'm trying to get my win rate higher and also more trades. Okay, so yeah, it's a good journey. You guys are with this journey with me. I will share my findings after I'm done. Again, very time consuming. Okay, for the rest of you, I'm looking at the charts, I'm looking at the chat attendance list. You're most regulars. You guys already know how this works. This only works for trending market. Okay, we need trend line channel, horizontal levels, and then any chart patterns, any death or golden cross, and any natural moving averages, stochastics, RSI, correlation. Okay, and then you're done, and then you'll see if there's reversal or breakup. Okay. So let me pull out trading view. Thank you from IC.com. They have rebranded. They are no longer, I think they are still IC markets, but I think they rebranded where I'm not sure, but basically they are now called IC.com. You know, guys, I'm gonna tell you something. After my weeks of doing the back testing, and once I share it with you guys, right? Once I share it, you will be receiving very valuable information. I was planning to do the back testing, okay, and whatever results that I find, I was planning to sell the information to a hedge fund or a financial firm because this kind of research is very consuming. If I really manage to find something, right? If I really manage to find something, so far, Elliott Wave is very promising, and I shared with you guys. You guys have gotten like very expensive information for free. Okay, so don't worry, I will still share it with you guys. You guys are on this journey with me, but just give me a few more weeks. It's really time consuming. It is so time consuming. Okay, let me pull up TradingView. I pulled up TradingView, sharing screen. About URUSD, okay, the last one, it's AUUSD. I think it's AUUSD. I didn't call for anything because it was going sideways. Yes, I did not call for anything because it's going sideways. And you know what? I expected it to keep going sideways for a while more, but it broke out. So, okay, it broke out, meaning that there's going to be some kind of action soon. Wait, why did I write here possible sell entry? This is clearly a buy, right? Because the stop loss is at the bottom. Very short-term bias. Very short-term buys, yeah. So I'm calling for a buy. Why did I put a possible sell entry? But long-term buy itself focus on short-term, more bias for red arrows to work out. Okay, this is not supposed to be a sell entry. I probably marked the wrong thing. Oh. Hey, let's see what happened last week. Um, I don't remember every time. I only remember when I come back and review this. Okay, last week I was calling, right, for a pull back first and then continue up. So I was calling for a buy, right? So directional wise, I was not wrong. I was correct in terms of direction. So it's true enough, price did go up. It's just that it did not reach any of my entry. Okay, so my first entry was this one here, possible buy entry here. And there's another entry here. This was the main entry I was thinking of, and this was and my priority entry, and this is the one that is a possibility. Okay, but neither of it, price didn't pull back to either of it. Price just instead of pulling back down, which is what I thought would happen, pulling back down here or here, what prices was immediately shot up. Okay, so there was no way for me to get into this trade, right? Because my style of trading requires a pullback to a level, then from that level I go in, right? Because my style of trading is very, like, I use Elliott Wave as a base of my style of trading. So, okay, let me show you again how Elliott Wave works. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? So my style of trade, why is this visibility? Wait, how come I can't see my waves? Why can I not see my waves? Oh, okay, the numbers are changing, but I don't see the lines. Okay, there you go. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm always looking for that move. I'm always looking for the pullback, right? Only at a pullback, this will always be my entry. So, but the thing is, if I'm looking at price here and it just shoots up here, there was no way for me to identify the shoot up. That means instead of identifying the start of number two, you're just randomly getting here, getting in here, 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 here. You're just randomly getting it at a random price. Okay, so that wouldn't work. So therefore, this analysis didn't work out because it didn't pull back to the entry. Okay, that's totally fine because sometimes it won't pull back because it already did that move. See, it already pulled back one time. So what I was asking for it to pull back a third time, it already pulled back here one time. This is the one time. This is the second time. I was asking it to pull. I was expecting it to pull back the third time, which was actually very unlikely. Okay, after pulling back, it's like asking for a triple bottom. Okay, it doesn't happen very commonly. Okay, so directional wise, this was good. I like that the direction was correct. It's just that the entry didn't hit. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. Moving forward, we'll just have to work on finding a better entry. But then again, I cannot force the charts, right? If the charts, yeah, I cannot force the charts. Okay, so next one. Let me see. My arrow always starts from where I left it. So I was thinking for EURUSD that it will move up and then drop back down. It did move up, missed the stop loss by a little bit. I mean, depending on spread, this could have been triggered anyways. Okay. I mean, but based on whatever's on the chart, missed the stop loss, and is it gonna drop down now? I don't know. I will come back and review this in a while. Okay, let's look at the last one. Okay, XAUUSD, there was no setup for last week because I don't do setups when it's a sideways market. It was just going sideways, right? It was going sideways since the 22nd of 21st, 19, sorry. Let me see, 22nd of June, all the way till August, 1.5 months of going sideways. How was I supposed to know it was gonna break out after 1.5 months of going sideways, right? So I'm glad that it's broken out, means that they could be a possible setup today. Okay, let's look at URUSD first because this is the one that it's not done. This trade, if I had put a pending order, this is not done yet. Okay, let me see chances of it pulling back down. I mean, that's a clean break, right? I'm gonna make this a different color so it's more obvious. Red, okay, there you go. So you see that downtrend trend line? We're all seeing the same downtrend trend line, right? Downtrend trend line, one, two, three, four touches, valid trend line, nice clean textbook trend line, clear breakout here. There is no denying this breakout, okay? This is a clear breakout, okay? So why was I calling for a buy though? Don't remember. Okay, probably because you see the thing about breakouts, right? There is this thing, it doesn't happen every single time, but it happens a lot. Okay. This is from back testing. I know this from back testing. Okay. Usually after a breakout, it does this thing called a breakout and pullback, then continuation. Okay, so I'm guessing I was calling for a sell because I'm calling for a pullback, right? After breakout, it's very rare that it breaks out and just shoots in one direction. No, it doesn't. It breaks out first, comes back and retests something. It retests a zone, it retests the last swing high, the last swing low, the trend line. Okay, in a lot of cases, it comes back and retests the trend line before continuing up, right? So I guess that's what I was calling for. Um, but I wasn't aiming for the trend line. I was just aiming back here where the last swing highs were. Okay, I think this is a very fair target. But my question is, why did I choose this as the entry? Right, because there was 78.6, 127.2. Okay. Do I think this is gonna work out? Honestly, Do I think it's gonna work out? I would say if I was in this trade right now, okay, what I would do is move my stop loss back to entry, okay? Back to entry, which is above the last candle. Okay, so no matter what happens right now, I will not lose money. Okay, but anyways, in hindsight, I'm not even in this trade. Okay, but I'm just saying in the scenario that I am in this trade, okay, and I don't know if it's going to reach my take profit. To minimize risk, what I would do is first move the stop loss to below entry. Okay, so no matter what happens, I don't lose anything. Why does it have to be below entry? It can be at entry or close to the entry, right? If you put it above entry, you're definitely losing, but losing a very small amount. You put it on entry, you don't break even because there's going to be fees. There's going to be commission or whatever it is, spreads and whatnot. So you always have to put it to break even, you need it below your entry. That's just to break even. Okay. So in the event from here, it just moves up. It doesn't matter. It just triggers my my entry, right? It just triggers my entry. I get out of the trade without losing a single cent. But the best case is that it hits my take profit, right? That's the best case. Do I think it's gonna hit my take profit? Honestly, looking at the structure of the charts right now, I don't think it's gonna hit my take profit. Okay? Because last week, when I was doing this analysis, the structure wasn't so clear. It wasn't a very clean uptrend structure. But right now we can see with this channel that I'm drawing, it's a very clear uptrend structure, right? So will it break this channel and go to my take profit? I'm not that confident that it would. Okay, so I'm just gonna have to stay here for a while. There's a possibility. I'm not the most confident. Okay, because of this upward channel, because it is going against. Okay, let's look at Ethereum. Ethereum was the one that directional bias was correct, but it didn't trigger the entry, right? Let's look at this. So I know if we are using the cheat sheet, right? If today I pull out the cheat sheet checklist. All right, you guys cannot see my screen. Okay. If I pull out the cheat sheet checklist, I would be concerned. I would think it's time for Ethereum to go up, okay? Right? Because it looks like it's kind of bottoming out already, right? It looks like it reached the bottom part, right? But because I use Elliott wave to trade, right? Elliott wave works in a range. So the range that I have identified for Elliott wave is somewhere along this line, right? So based on my Elliott wave, which I cannot show you guys today, it's too much. It's just too much for such a short period of time. Okay, there's actually a little bit of room left. Oops. There's a little bit of room left for price to move down one more time. This will be the last push down. Okay, this is based on Elliott wave. Okay, the last push down, and then from here we're gonna see the rally. Okay, rally to where I have no idea. Will it reach back to the swing high? That's a story. That's a analysis for another day. But as of right now, my Elliott wave analysis is showing me that this is the possibility of where it can go. Somewhere within this green box, no idea where in this green box, but somewhere within this green box is where price can drop to. Okay, so anyways, just if we're not even looking at Elliott wave, right? We're just looking at normal trend line and whatnot. Technically, we're still in a very nice downtrend, right? What constitutes a downtrend? A downtrend constitutes lower highs, okay, lower lows. So right now, Ethereum is still doing the lower highs, lower low, right? It is still moving in the same direction. There is no indication of a trend reversal. So actually, on the long term, I'm still biased that Ethereum's on the downtrend. It's just that right now it could be pulling back. Okay, anyways, I already did the macro analysis on Elliott wave for Ethereum. Hey, next week, I'll show you guys how I did the Ethereum analysis on with Elliott wave, okay? But I can only show you with one chart. There is no way I can show you more than one chart with in 1 hour. Okay. Um, based on my analysis for Ethereum, right? The pullback area can be anywhere, right? Anywhere in these 4 boxes. That's the problem with Alien Wave. This is the only Alien Wave is such a good technical analysis. It's just that the box, right? It gives you a range. Okay, it's most likely going to reverse from 38.2 to 78.6. But 38.2 to 76 is such a huge number, right? It's such a huge number. So based on what I'm showing you guys, Ethereum already reached the minimum it needs to continue moving down. Okay, there are rules for Ethereum. Ethereum is once you reach the box, anywhere within the box, that means you have met the minimum requirement and then it is valid and I can now reverse. Okay, so it has reached the minimum where right now it could reverse if it wants to, or it could go higher anywhere within this green box and reverse. That is the tricky part of using Elliott wave, very, very accurate technical analysis tool. My results are showing crazy numbers, right? Very, very good results, very, very good risk to reward. The only problem is the entry range is too big. I'm still trying to figure out how to work on that. Okay, I'm still trying to figure out how to narrow it. Okay, I'm combining it with horizontal levels and whatnot, but sometimes, okay, this chart, for example, the structure is really crappy, right? The structure is really bad. There's nothing really for me to work with. Okay, there's nothing for me to work with really. So based on this structure, I could assume that Ethereum would just reverse here at the 1900 area, but that's just an assumption. Okay, so the question now is, I know on the long term Ethereum, I'm confident on the long term that Ethereum will drop down. The question is it where is it going to drop down from? So I know my take profit is going to be somewhere here, right? My take profit can be anywhere, can be really good. But the question now is, where is the entry? I know the entry is somewhere within this green box, but where? Where in this green box? Okay, so let's try to figure that out. Okay, let's try to figure out where in this green box the entry is going to be. That's why so far my win rate has been 4 out of 10, because 4 out of 10 times I can 10 out of 10 times I can identify where the green box is, but only 4 out of 10 times can I put my entry somewhere within the green box. Can you not just put your stop loss above the green box? Very good question. That is a very good question. Okay, you see? Yes, I can put my stop loss here. I can put my stop loss above the green box. Then that will eliminate all my problems, right? My win rate will become 10 out of 10 because it technically, if price is supposed to reverse within this green box, it won't even reach my stop loss, right? Very good question. Okay. You see the problem is putting your stop loss above that green box. Okay. Let's say, right, for Elliott wave, you are aiming exactly. Thank you so much, Nina. Risk reward will suck, will be bad. Okay. And I'm putting my stop loss here, my take profit here, right? Because you remember when it is a take profit, right? It is also a zone. I can aim my take profit here, but that wouldn't be safe. So the thumb of rule is always when it comes to take profit, don't aim for too low. Always aim for like a healthy amount, right? So if I put the take profit at the minimum place, okay, the minimum of where I think the take profit will be, anywhere in this green box is a take profit, the minimum, but I put my stop loss here. You see how the risk to reward becomes it's so bad. It's like 1 to 2, right? If I'm gonna do a 1 to 2 risk to reward, why am I using Elliott wave? Why am I using Elliott wave to do a risk to reward of so bad? Because Elliott, the thing about Elliott wave is very accurate. Trades don't happen very often, right? Trades don't happen very often. Why? Because trades out of five entire waves, the trades only happen at the start of the start of wave 3, which is the end of 2, and the start of wave 5, which is the end of wave 4. Okay, you've only got 2 opportunities to get in for a buy out of 5 waves, because you're getting in at here to catch this entire move. You're getting in here to catch the entire move, right? So there's only 2 opportunities to get in. So when you get in at the bottom, your stop loss is here. Your risk to reward can be 1 to 10. Your risk to reward can be 1 to 5, 1 to 6, 1 to 7, 1 to 8. Risk to reward for Elliott wave is crazy, but your chances of finding the correct entry is low unless I try to figure out how to solve that problem. Okay, so it doesn't make sense for me to do this. Okay, on the hindsight, I should be able to identify and maybe if I'm able to identify on both sides, my risk will end up looking something like this: 1 to 8, 1 to 10, 1 to whatever it is, right? So you can take one single trade for that month and make 10%, provided that one trade that you take is the winning trade. Okay? Provided the one trade that you actually take is the winning trade. Okay, so let's go back to where I think the entry is. I've already told you guys my bias, right? I'm not going to show you how I got it because too time consuming, okay? We are going to put the take profit here. To be very, very conservative, we can put the take profit. Although I think the potential is somewhere closer to the 1,000, okay? Just to be very conservative, my take profit is going to be here where the last swing low is, okay? So anytime you do a trade, you need 3 variables. The first thing is you need a take profit, you need a stop loss, and you need an entry. So I already got my take profit. Now my next question is, where do I get the entry? Where do I get the stop loss? Okay, the stop loss, ideally, of course, you put it above the box. But if we put it above the box, risk to reward would suck. Okay, entry is anywhere within this green box. Okay, so let's try to see if I can narrow down where exactly in this green box the entry is going to be. Okay, let's pull out some levels from the swing high, pulling down to the swing low. 1, 2, 3. Fibonacci projection from here to here, to the swing high, back to the swing low. Correct me if I'm wrong. Anytime you guys see something wrong, just let me know in the chat box. Sorry, I've been on the charts a lot, right? So my brain is not remembering things very well. So it's okay, we'll just reference, okay? Fibonacci projection, commonly known as the extension of expansion use might differ after. The primary standard projection levels are 61.8, 100, and 161.8, okay? I mean, we've done back testing and we don't really use 161.8, but it's okay. I don't mind using other levels that people have tried out. Okay, so far, 2 levels, this one here and this one here, is where there's more than one cluster of Fibonacci. Let's see if we see anything else I can take from. I guess I'm going to take from this swing high here, pulling up to here, 23.6. Okay, yeah, that's the 2 that I see right now. That is the 2 that keeps giving me something. I'm going to take from this really big swing high here, pulling back all the way to the swing low. Yeah, it's not going to show me anything because it's down. Well, that one's too big, okay? Okay, so far, what I'm seeing, right? We're all seeing the same thing, right? We are all seeing the same thing where there is a cluster of Fibonacci levels, either here, here, in the red box, right? Or here, Okay, so there's two possible entries. One is at 2000, one is here. Okay, so I'm gonna try both, whereas right now I'm gonna try this one, and if my stop loss gets triggered, next week when we come back, I'm gonna try this one. Okay, see, that's the thing when you do back testing, right? You see two possibilities, you're gonna have to try both out. Okay. So um if price pulls back to this 1900 area, I will possibly get in. I'm gonna get rid of this green box since we already found a narrow down of where the action is gonna happen. Okay, getting rid of the green box. So these are the two possible entries that I see. Okay. Remember, based on Elliott wave rules, Ethereum has already reached a level where it has fulfilled all the minimum requirement and it can reverse here. But the problem is it can also still go up. Okay, that means it already reached the minimum threshold. It could reverse here right now if it wanted to, or it could reverse from here. Okay, anywhere within this green box, but more likely to be here or here because that's where the most Fibonacci levels are at. Also, I see a swing low happening here. Okay, so yeah, it makes me a bit more confident with my entry. So I'm gonna call this cell. Okay, entry if the first one doesn't work, okay? Entry right now. If price pulls back a little bit more, here, I will consider getting in for a sell. Okay. I just don't know why the market sometimes have this like it always just wants to go and test the higher point. Okay, psychologically, every time you think, okay, it's probably this the entry, no, it's gonna end up being this the entry. It happens a lot of times when I'm like, okay, maybe the low one is the entry, then ends up being the high one. Okay, so stop loss being right up here. Okay. If this is the real entry for the continuation of the Elliott wave, the potential, obviously, like I said, can go all the way down here. Okay, sorry, to the $1,000 area. Okay, this can be because, like I said, you are catching the best entry and then riding the entire wave down. Okay, but to be very conservative, I'm just aiming for the next swing low. Okay, stop loss being here. This looks like a short. What are we looking at? 1 to 4. 1 to 4. Honestly, 1 to 4.5. This is a really healthy trade. Yes, I know it can go way lower if you aim for the bottom, right? It can go 1 to 10, but to be very conservative, okay, to be very conservative, I'm aiming for 1 to 4.5. I think this is a very good setup if this entry is the correct entry. If this entry is the correct entry, I think this is a very good setup. If this entry gets stopped out, that means the real entry was actually this one. Okay, and then that's how I accumulated so many losses in my back testing because there was a lot of like, okay, it could be this one, it could be this one. It's okay, I'll try the first one first. Doesn't work, I'll try the second one. Now, okay, the second one works. Okay, so that's why my win rate, when I'm trading with another strategy, my win rate is really high, like 7 out of 10. You know, our usual strategy where you're using trend line, blah, 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 that's a really high win rate. But the risk reward isn't the best of the best. Sometimes with that strategy, the risk reward is like what, 1 to 2, right? With Elliott Wave, my win rate is really low, 4 out of 10, but one setup is giving me like 5%, 6%, 7%. 2005. Stop loss at 2071. Close range enough to. I mean, yeah, you could honestly, because I'm not even drawing this very accurately, right? If I zoom in, technically this box is way, way bigger, right? So 2005, still somewhere close to that box. It's totally fine. It is perfect. It's perfect. Yeah, so I'm happy with the setup, provided the entry works out. Okay. You see, guys, I've already been talking about 50 minutes and I didn't really come up with an analysis. I've only managed to do Ethereum. I can imagine next week when we do the alien wave, I might not be able to finish on time. Okay. If next week when we do the alien wave analysis, I cannot finish in that 1 hour, we're just gonna have to stop because I cannot go more than an hour because I have another webinar after this. Okay, I have another meeting after this. So I cannot go more than 1 hour. So next week, if I cannot complete everything within the 1 hour, we'll just stop where we stop and then I'll continue the week after. Okay. Oh, by the way, guys, next week, remember, yes, please remember, next week's webinar is on Monday. Okay. If you did not catch this, okay, I've told next week's webinar is on Monday. Same time, but on Monday. Okay. I've already told IC Markets to schedule it to Monday. The Zoom meeting is being scheduled onto Monday. Okay. So if you guys don't get the email invitation next week, if I come onto the webinar and I see 0 attendees, it means that there was something wrong with the invitation again. Then I will not do the alien wave analysis next week. But next week, if I come on and I see people manage to join the webinar, then I will do the alien wave analysis. Next week is on Monday because I have a flight to catch on Tuesday. I won't be able. It's still on. Okay, so it's still in August 18. Okay, I will let IC Markets know. Okay, ignore the date. Ignore the date that you see on the website. Just as a oh yeah. Okay, okay, no, no, no. It is they didn't change it. Okay, just remember, ignore this date. I will let IC Markets know. I just think sometimes their back end they're probably busy or they missed. Okay, but I'll let them know later to change it to the 17th. But on Zoom, it's already confirmed. Zoom, it is already confirmed. On Zoom, it is already confirmed for the 17th. Okay, so next week. Oh, wait, but registering goes to 17. Okay, okay, yeah. So just remember, next week is Monday, okay? It is not Tuesday. Next week is Monday. It is not Tuesday. You come on Tuesday, nobody will be around because I will literally be on a flight. I'm not able to do next Tuesday because I will be on the plane. I don't see how I can do the webinar on the plane. Okay, so I've told IC Markets to change it to Monday. So please come on Monday. You can't find the link, it's okay. I'll just take it next week. If I don't see any attendees, I'll just take it that you guys couldn't find your way to the webinar and I will just do the alien wave analysis the week after. Okay. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with this setup. Okay, now to make it even more accurate, we can consider combining all the other stuff, right? Not looking good. Elliott Wave is showing a buy. Okay, it's confused. You see how the blue line needs to be above the red and price needs to be above the cloud for it to be a solid uptrend. Okay, right now the blue is below the red, so it's kind of confused in a way. There is a possibility also, guys, there's a possibility, right, that price does not pull back to this entry. Why? Because it already did the move one time. This could have been the complete move, and then now it's actually on the way down already. What I'm hoping happens, right, is that it gives us another chance to get into the market. It gives us another chance by pulling back to the entry and then I get in again one more time. But again, there is a possibility it won't do that because it already did this here. It already did it here. If I caught this earlier on, I would have still be in this trade. Okay. Right. So one more thing I have to tell you guys as I'm doing my back testing for there is a lot of problem to be solved as I'm doing my Elliott wave back testing. Number one is because Elliott wave plays such a big move, you need to know you'll be holding the trade for very big, right? For very big, not very big, very long time. Okay, because Elliott wave captures such a very huge move. So you see, if you had followed this, you'll be in since 27th of July until now. If you caught this and you're like, okay, this is the entry, I'm gonna get in here, right? You would still be holding this trade until now, 11th of August. Do you know how much the overnight charges would have been if you would have held for so many days? That is, okay, so this is the problem of Elliott Wave. Very, very accurate, very profitable setup strategy. There's a few more things I need to figure out. Number one, how to make it work for day trading because it won't work for day trading because you're holding it for a very long time. Okay. Number two, how to narrow down the entries. Okay, that's why it's gonna take me a while. It's gonna take me a few more weeks, maybe even months to come up with a very good setup. But I can promise you, the minute I find the solution to this, I'll share it with you guys. The minute I find the solution to this, I would have made a lot of money already. Okay, if I'm able to find a solution to all of this, I am going to sell the information to a hedge fund. Okay, it is that simple because this is very, very, very valuable and expensive information. So give me a few more weeks to do the back testing, maybe a month. It might even take me a year to figure this out. But once I figure it out, there is no turning back. Okay. Yeah, so there's just few problems I'm facing with using Elliott Wave. Okay, there's a few problems that I'm facing. Okay, so I think this is accurate. I just don't know if it will come back a second time. If it comes back, that's great. If it doesn't, then what's gonna happen is this. Okay, what's gonna happen is that was the high. It's already done, and then now it's just gonna go down from here. Okay, either way, my bias for Ethereum is a sell. Okay, my bias for Ethereum on the long term is to sell. Okay, that's all I have for you guys today. Sorry, I didn't really, I mean, this EURUSD, will it reach take profit? We will find out in a week. This one, I think I love this setup. I just don't know if it's gonna work out. Gold. Let me see if I can, I've got like 3 more minutes with you guys. Let me see if I can complete this analysis in 3 minutes. Oh, Elliott Wave works really well on gold as well. Elliott Wave works really well on Ethereum, works really well on gold. Oh my gosh, you guys don't know how much money I've made from gold using Elliott Wave in the past. Okay, it's just that after having kids, I stopped using Elliott Wave too much because Elliott Wave is very time consuming. It's a lot of like, look, see, it's crazy. The Elliott Wave rules is crazy, right? It's crazy. So why I stopped using Elliott Wave to trade is because it's too time consuming. There's too many things to cross check. There's too many things to reference. I need to make sure I'm following this rule, this rule, this rule, this rule. It's great, very accurate, just very, very time consuming. Okay, not for beginners, for sure. Not for beginners. Okay, goals. Let me see what I have for goal. I know it broke out, but technically, right, if you're looking at a bigger time frame, it is still moving on a downtrend. It is kind of still moving in the downtrend. Oh, okay, maybe, or maybe not, right? Okay, it's okay. I also can like a small little move. See, break of structure here. It really wants to go up, huh? Break of structure here, broke and continue going up. The next structure is, I would say this one. Okay. And so I think gold is gonna continue going up. I, you know what, this is too much to think about in like 3 minutes. I mean, if he wants to go up, okay, do not copy my trade, okay? Please do not copy my trade. This is what I'm seeing in like 3 minutes, okay? I so risky. So risky, but yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna talk too much about this because I don't want you guys to copy my trade. Yeah. Okay, that's all I have for you guys this week. I'll catch you guys next week. If you guys manage to join on Monday, I'll do the earlier wave analysis. If not, then we'll just do it the week after. Okay? Sorry, I can't do it on Tuesday next week. I will be traveling. So yeah. Catch you guys next week. Okay, bye everyone. Thank you. Take care. Thanks, Jamilu. Thanks, Nina. Thanks, Muhammad. Thanks, Joash. Thanks, Ryan. Poor Alfred. He's been wanting to join, but thanks, Grayson. Grayson? Yeah, okay. Bye. Take care. I will see you in a week.